We have weak links. As this Trump presidency shapes up, it's only, what, 15 days away? You better believe there are weak links in the chain, and we are going to be the ones to strengthen those leaks. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. Hi, friend. I'm Randall Terry. Have you ever thought about the irony and the hypocrisy, the despicable hypocrisy of the Obama administration? First of all, lying, saying that Russia hacked the election. It's a lie, okay? It is not true. And if you saw Julian Assange's interview with the founder of WikiLeaks, if you saw his interview with Sean Hannity a couple nights ago, you will know that at least, you know, he's been a straight shooter. He's been a straight shooter. WikiLeaks has never been proven wrong, ever. So he releases these documents, WikiLeaks, and they say this is the work of the Russians. It wasn't the work of the Russians. All right, it wasn't. But what's funny, it would be funny, except it's so despicable, is that Barack Obama with the NSA was hacking the emails of millions of Americans. Millions of us. And he was hacking Merkel's phone. The NSA, Barack Obama, they hacked the private cell phone of the Chancellor of Germany. Okay? So for them to complain and them to whine about the Russians did this, no, it wasn't the Russians. And I urge you to watch that interview because, you know what? Did you read about this, Sarah Palin? Sarah Palin, after seeing the interview, put a posting up on Facebook where she apologized to Julian Assange. She apologized to him because evidently a few years ago, somebody had hacked her email, her private email, and he released some of them. She was furious, as she should have been. They were still talking about people's computers being hacked. But she said he has done a great service. And what she said was, I encourage people to watch the movie Snowden and then watch or read WikiLeaks and watch the interview that Sean Hannity did with him, with the founder of WikiLeaks. We are in a rough time. We're in a rough time in American history. We just are. And we are not out of danger, friends. It's 15 days till Barack Obama leaves office. Trump's people are saying, you're not going to believe the speed with which he acts and the things that he's going to get done in the first 100 days. Now, one of the snakes in the grass, one of the most evil people in American politics, and I have a personal history with him, is the senator from New York, Charles Schumer. Schumer is now the Senate Minority Leader. He is an evil man. He is a godless man. All right? He is a deceitful man. And he is now saying that they're going to do what they can to stall Trump's appointees, to drag them out as long as possible. So, as I told you before, I'm going to tell you again. The weak link is Mitch McConnell. In the U.S. Senate, the weak link is Mitch McConnell. Remember that. Mitch McConnell is a pillar of jello. Okay? The one thing he got right in the last election cycle is he said, we're not going to let Barack Obama appoint a Supreme Court judge. Not going to happen. And he held to it. A broken clock is right twice a day. I congratulate you, Mitch McConnell, for that one thing that you got right. But friends, he has got to use his position as the Senate Majority Leader to get Donald Trump's agenda passed, because that's why the American people elected Trump, to do the things he said. I'll be right back. I have been a leader in the pro-life movement for 30 years. And sadly, we have not prevailed in our goal to make it a criminal act to kill an unborn baby. There's reasons why we have failed. I wrote this book, A Humble Plea, to Catholic bishops,
to evangelical clergy and to lay people, explaining where we went wrong and what we have to do to prevail. We've made this available as a PDF online for free. I encourage you to go and download your own copy.
Perhaps you have a message that you want to reach tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. We have the venue for you. You can buy a 1-minute ad on this program. We can help you produce the commercial. Obviously, we have to agree with the content, but if you want to reach into 130 cities, that's how many cities we're in. If you want to reach into 30 million homes, that's how many homes we're in. We have the opportunity for you on this program, and our rates are incredible. This could be a message about politics. It could be a message about your ministry. It could be a message or a remembrance about a loved one or some great hero in history. And then, of course, it could just be your family business that you want to take national. Give us a call, and we will talk to you about the rates and the ability to produce a hard-hitting ad for you to run on this show. Giving news, creating news, sound bites, protests, driving the narrative. You understand that what we've seen, and George Soros is a part of this, funding, writing checks as the godless billionaire. We've seen a narrative driven in part by headlines because people care. Some people care and are not paid, and some people care and are paid, and some people don't care and they're paid, these paid protesters. So since Trump's election, we've had protests, marches, and what happens? It's a visual, okay? So the television cameras come out and they film it, and then they interview people and they give sound bites. Meanwhile, what are people like us doing? Not much. We're not advancing a narrative. Now, thank heavens President-elect Trump has exquisite, excellent media savvy, okay? So he did his victory lap. Then he went to various cities, giving speeches, telling people thank you. And that helped with a balancing narrative. But the truth of the matter is that we have weak links. Mitch McConnell is a huge problem. Paul Ryan, we're going to see. The jury's out on him. I don't trust him. I don't like him. So let's see what happens. You know, the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. So we'll see. But we who helped get Trump in office, we who want to drain the swamp, we who want cataclysmic change, we want corruption ended, we want a wall, all right, we want to stop illegal immigration, we want to deal with the threat of Islam and not allow Muslim terrorists into the country under the guise of refugees. We are going to be the ones that have to fix the weak links. Do you remember when you were a kid? When I was a kid, we had bicycles and chains on our bikes. And every once in a while, the chain would break. And then you would have to fix the link. It's going to be up to us. So part of what we have to do is we have to contact our U.S. senators, our congressmen, our representative, and we have to say to them in very clear terms, we will kick you out of office if you do not help Trump get his agenda. We have to threaten them politically, okay? And this is where the right wing of American politics generally, not, you know, the gun lobby thankfully is an exception to this. Most of the people on the right, especially the religious right, are just way too polite. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand politics. They don't understand threatening people's political lives. I was in Vermont. I'll give you an illustration of what I'm talking about. When this homosexual marriage debacle began, it was court cases in Hawaii first and then Vermont. I took a delegation of Protestant ministers to Hawaii, and we actually helped tip the scale and got a bill out of committee because of lobbying, and it ended up going the right way. Then Vermont happened. So I went to Vermont, right there at the Capitol, 3-4 buildings away from the Capitol, literally, rented space, brought people in, lobbied, and we lost that one. But while we were there was a group of ministers, and there was this local guy who did not have a clue what he was doing. So but if he was at the tip of the spear, so he got all these ministers together on a freezing cold day in January or February to have a rally outside. Now, remember, all the legislators are in the building. And have a rally outside. We're here to defend marriage, and we want marriage to be between a man and a woman. And then he said, when it was all done, he said, now, you might want to go inside and walk around and say hi to people. And I'm there. I'm actually on the scene. I was ready to pull my hair out. No, you go in and you threaten their political careers. You go in and you say to them, if you vote to have homosexual marriage, we will make sure that you are out of office. We'll overturn the law, but we'll make sure that you are out of office. Do you understand me? That's what you do. I mean, just perfect clarity. So the NRA, they do that. They put scalps on the wall. Okay, the last time that there was any major effort to do serious gun control was under Bill Clinton, and that's part of why he ended up losing the Congress in 1994, if my memory is correct, because of the NRA putting scalps on the wall. The left understands it. They play hardball. They don't mince words, and they get it. But perhaps it's because of the Christian influence on the Christian right. And by Christian influence, I mean kindness, to be gracious, to be polite, stuff like that. Maybe that has infected in a negative way people's ability to understand what politics is all about and the need for aggressive, confrontational, threatening activism. And I don't mean physically threatening. I mean threaten their political lives. Tell them you're done. If you don't get on the program, we will do everything in our power to get a primary opponent against you and take you out in the primary. That's the way it works, friends. That's the way it works. And the opposition, they get it. They understand it. So President-elect Trump is going to be in office soon. And we have got to stand with him. We have got to create a hubbub. We have got to publicly, through every means at our disposal, say yes and amen when we agree with the things he's doing. And if he messes up, then we have to hold him accountable. If he doesn't do the things that he promised, then we have to hold him accountable. I've got to take a break. I know of which I speak, my friends. This is experience talking. So those of you who are young and you want to be involved, learn the lessons of American politics. I've got to take a break. I'll be right back. Perhaps you have a business or a ministry or a message that you want to get out to multiple thousands of people. We have the avenue for you to do that. This show. We are currently seen on over 130 television stations, Monday through Friday, twice a night, 8 p.m. Eastern and 1 a.m. Eastern, and then all times are local. Our advertising rates are so competitive, you'll wonder, why didn't I go to Randall Terry first? All right? Literally, you can reach into these 130 cities for about 50 cents a day per city. Do the math. That's an incredible bargain. And you'll be reaching the type of viewer that you want to buy your product or to hear your message. Contact us as soon as you can. We'll talk about the rates. We'll talk about cutting the commercial for you, and you can reach a lot of people. So what is it, 15 days left for Obama? They're saying that he's going to have some kind of farewell speech. Fare thee well, President Obama. Friends, the Democratic Party is in a shambles right now. Total shambles. And the only reason that there's not dancing going on the grave of the Democratic National Committee is because A, it's got a long history, it's going to keep going, but it's in a shambles. But B, because of the treacherous, deceitful, lying major media, okay? They're already talking to the Democrats on TV about how to win back Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin and Ohio and Michigan. In other words, President-elect Trump hasn't even been sworn into office. And these vile, deceitful, despicable Chuck Todd, George Stephanopoulos types are sitting there having intelligent conversations with the leaders of the Democrat Party on how they're going to take back these states. Let me tell you something. You see what happened with Ford a couple days ago? Do you see that Ford basically said we're not going to go ahead with a certain plant in Mexico? This is the one that Trump was using on the campaign trail. He was browbeating them over that plant. And they said, we're going to keep a plant open here. We're going to add jobs to that plant. And they basically said, and I think it was on Cavuto, the chairman of Ford said, we think that with the atmosphere of Trump, the pro-work and lower regulations and the tax things that we see Trump talking about, that it's going to make for a better business environment for us, so we're going to stay. So this is awesome, right? I mean, this is great. But how does the press cover it? The press mocks, they say Trump is a bully, rather than be thankful that the president-elect, he's not even in office yet, and he's done more for business than Obama did in 8 years, okay? 8 years of Obama's poison and his regulations, and now he's just released something, permanent ban on drilling in Alaska. I mean, this is evil. It's evil. It's not just bad politics. It's evil. All right, I'll explain why. Why is it evil? We are a country that runs on fossil fuels, okay? The most important part of our lives, economically, heat, is ability to move, ability to have a job, is oil. Don't let anyone kid you. And solar energy and wind energy, they're great ideas, and hopefully they'll continue to develop, but for the foreseeable future, we need oil. So why do I say it's evil that Obama tries to put a permanent ban on drilling in Alaska? Let me explain why it's evil. We are funding terrorism. American dollars pay for American dead because we are buying oil from the Middle East while we are sitting on trillions of gallons in Alaska. Oh, you don't want to hurt the wildlife. Do you understand that you need a 2,000-acre plot with about 2,000 acres in the middle of tens of millions of acres, okay? An itty-bitty 2,000-acre plot, and they could do what they need to do in Anwar. That's it, okay? They're not going to disrupt the wildlife there. They're just not. But Obama wants us to have to keep going to the Middle East for oil, keep funding terrorism. We're trading with our enemies who would, if they had their way, they would slice our throats politically and nationally. It's evil. I've got to take a break. Am I taking a break or am I done with the show? All right, I'll be right back. Don't go away.
It took me 14 years to write it. 4 rewrites, countless edits. I poured my heart and soul into Dragon Slayers. It points a very inspiring and painful book to write. I encourage you to go to our website and look at the reviews that we have gotten from readers of this book, and then avail yourself. It's an allegory, and I promise you, you'll be inspired.
I'm inviting you to not only watch this program, but invite your friends to do it. This show airs on over 130 television stations around the country, 8 p.m. Eastern, and again, 1 a.m. Eastern, all times local. But you might have a friend in another city who can't get it on their television set. They can watch it live on their computer if they want. They can stream it from their computer right onto their television set, as so many do today. That's why Hulu and Netflix and other companies have gotten so big. People are actually using their computer to watch television on their TV set or on their desktop or their laptop. So there's no cost, and you can invite your friends to watch this program live at 8 p.m. Eastern or 1 a.m. Eastern on their computer Monday through Friday. And oh, by the way, you can take advantage at our website of gazillions of tools to make you a better Christian. As Christmas approaches and we have those certain people that we need to buy gifts for, many of us buy books to give to relatives or people that we work with because we know that they're thinkers and they're learners and they don't want another tie and they don't want chocolate. Give them a video book. What would Muhammad do? Islamic Terrorism Explained. This serial documentary is loaded with images and with references, quotes from Muhammad, quotes from the Hadith, the Quran, the Sunnah, the biographies on Muhammad. And we show the direct connection between Muhammad and modern day Islamic terrorism. Far from Islamic terrorists having hijacked the peaceful religion of Islam, you will learn when you watch this series that Muslim terrorists are imitating the founder of Islam. This is the type of gift that some thinking man or woman in your life wants, they need it, and they will thank you that you gave it to them for Christmas. Welcome back, friend. I have to confess, this level of tension and intensity is probably going to be with us until Obama leaves office because of what he's trying to do. And what he is doing, are you watching the news? He's filling all these jobs as fast as he can. He's trying to get more of the Gitmo, the Guantanamo Bay terrorists released so they can go back to killing Americans. This man is an evildoer. And we have been given a reprieve. Thank you, God. But I'm telling you, you've got to hear me, that we have sinned. American Christians have sinned. At some level or another, most of us, not all of us, most of us have sinned. Some of us voted for Obama. Over half of Roman Catholics voted for this despicable human being. We were at church recently. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. A third of evangelicals voted for him, which shows that our moral compass is broken. And then some of us don't even vote. Just don't vote. We leave the playing field. Some of us are just totally consumed with our own comfort, our own safety, our own well-being, our own money. We're not interested in picking up our cross. We're not interested in dying to ourselves. We're not thinking about fighting for future generations. These are called sins of omission. All right? It is the sins of omission more than any other sins that are destroying this republic. Remember Edmund Burke? All that is necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. And that's been, when you look at American pastors, when you look at American priests, when you look at American clergy, look in your community. How many of them are on the news for fighting evil? How many of them are shepherds? I mean, true shepherds that go to war with wolves. How many of them are preaching, you've got to be involved in politics. You've got to not vote for evildoers. How many of them are trying to restore government education in their community? I mean, just think of the evils that are engulfed, that have engulfed this nation. And say, where's the fight? All that is necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. James said, for him who knows to do good and doeth it not, he doesn't do it, to him it is sin. It is the sins of omission that are destroying us. And so that's why I said we have to repent. We in the Christian community, we've been given a reprieve. The Trump presidency is only a reprieve. And if we don't get our acts together and fight for the number one is the lives of innocent babies. Friend, you have to remember that ancient Israel killed their own offspring for probably 100 years before God destroyed them. But he destroyed them. He destroyed his own temple. He said, I will destroy the temple that bears my name. Now think that one through with me. Clearly, God instructed the building of the tabernacle and then David and Solomon the building of the temple. And he came with the Shekinah glory. He came.
And then he destroyed it because of the shedding of innocent blood. That's how much God hates the shedding of innocent blood. If we're going to save this republic, we've got to turn that around or we're doomed. It might take 50 years, 80 years, but we're doomed.